if you have friendship, everybody will like you. If you touch people, you make friends. But in Kenya, we used to have different pockets of tribes, different types of social activities, social interactions, which are not touching people. Everybody was doing his own job. Even in NGOs and CPUs at in Kibera, they used to do a lot of peace building, but not coordinated. Everybody doing the way he wants, what Catherine was saying. But leaders in the community, who go for grassroots, we don't need even people with degrees. Even this lady here is a leader. She has come with a kid. This is what we call peace. Interacting together, being one. So, within our coordination of DPC, and the way people touching the grassroots. And I said in 2007, as the chairman of the Mangata Police Station Community Policing Committee, which I am, the 6th year now. Because I said, what do I offer to the people after all the knowledge I've got from the government? Let me give them security, training, let me give them leadership, awareness, maybe a few management aspects that I've learned. And then the community that is in the slums and other areas who need the leadership and the exposure can get it from me. This is what is peace building. This is what we call security.
Thanks to the chairman, because TISNET and CHF are on the steering, but he is the host here. That's why he invited his co-chairs, Chairman Kamkundi and Chair and Starehe.
And now, as we have highlighted all the issues that, we have tenant-landlord issues, you'll find that if you choose that as an issue, you'll realize that it doesn't happen everywhere, isn't it? There's some parts or some quarters in our geographical space that really don't have that kind of conflict, and there are others that do. And again, one example is the informal settlement. And our brother here in the back was trying to quantify the informal settlement. He said the demolition of the informal settlement is what is causing the ripples. So I felt that even as you decide to look at what are the forces for peace and forces against peace, where? I think that question, where, is very important. Because then in the definition of the where, you will be able to contextualize the realities, and then it will resonate. And again, Katie said before, sometimes you do the analysis, you have analysis parallel, you have program parallel. Why? Because again, if it is not within that scope, then they will definitely be different. If I did this analysis and I want to implement it in Kisumu, will it really work? No. Then in the actors again, since you are able to define the context where the conflict is happening, you will be able to be very specific about the actors. And sometimes we find a real problem because people don't want to name names. They don't want to mention. So if you don't name it, how can you deal with it?
Even right now, when you see the trend of political situation in Kenya, where everybody, from maybe a leader from each tribe, forms political party. So in another way, most tribes will gangs against they will identify not only political ideologies.
For two tribes to start fighting or killing each other, there is something that has happened. There is a politician who has said something. So that's the only link between the conflict between politics and tribe. Otherwise, tribe is just okay. We have states in this world that have got so many more tribes than Kenya, and they coexist peacefully.
Because every person wants to be recognized, and that sense of belonging.
The leadership conflict.
Politics can be a conflict itself, and it cannot be. In what sense? If we are practicing politics in a better way, of course it cannot be a conflict.
The conflict we name. Political power struggle? Oh, we have a no. Okay, we have it. Okay, we'll carry on that path.
I'm actually asking myself the issues of ethnicity and tribalism, because the ideas that are coming, we have 42 tribes, and is that we have two tribes, that is the rich and the poor, and all these, if you rally this particular concept, ethnicity for me is just a creation of somebody's mind.
Mass ignorance. Number one, we don't know what we want. We don't know when we want it. And we don't know what to do with it. If we will prioritize these things, we'll know how we'll handle ourselves and handle the people we accuse as politicians who keep on dividing us. We have people who want a political seat, but do not understand what you want to do with the seat. This is why they have packaged us into ethnic groupings that are not helping them and not helping us. So we must know what we want.
Yes, please. Go ahead. And then we'll come to the back.
I think one of the conflicts that exists that actually should have been the first one is the conflict of distribution of resources.
Yes.
And for me, it is the reason for the creation and even the sustenance of slaves in Kenya, and especially in Nairobi.
Well, it's about resources.
Yeah.
Again, yeah?
So, but if I'm the president, I come from Meru, the Meru people will be happy. You say, oh yes, now we will dominate the resources. Governance.
So identity then, what connects or what are the forces for or against peace in that particular identity issue? Then you can start saying yes, ethnicity, nepotism, class, then it is all under that. And that's why our brother here was saying the sense of belonging. So apart from tenant, landlord, I felt, would it be okay? And those political issues you are reinforcing, actually they fall under identity. So would it help us if we just picked that one and then in your small groups, mutachambua?
yourselves, and then you look at where exactly can I come in to break the cycle.
Not so long ago, that was the map of Kibera on the internet. So, do you see anything there? And that one was found from UNICEF. UNICEF is like one of the biggest organs developments in the world. So this was the map of Kibera. That red thing is what marked that that is somewhere called Kibera. Now, a group of young people, mostly from Kibera, and some friends decided to come up and think of something. Probably think of, why don't we map something? Why don't we proclaim that there is existence in this area? And conduct research and do an actual map, the first map of Kibera. So that team was the first team of Map Kibera Trust members that came together in 2009 to start this work. This was the detail of Kibera from OSM. OSM is Open Street Map. And the first map over there is the health map up there. If you look at that map, and we have samples, this is something we will be discussing with the district fiscal Philip and Colonel Ndambi here. Because we want this map to be the basis of discussion of security, so that we avoid the situation where policemen patrol only along the tarmac road, because they cannot access the interiors of the slums, because they don't know. We want to be able to help them know that there are actually routes. Those other places in Kibera, there are what is the spread out of black spots In those areas, we've been able to map black spots. We've been able to map the distribution of bars, of pubs, drinking joints. We've been able to relate those joints and crime, for instance. If you look at that map, you will see in some areas where there's a lot of bars, like some villages that I will not mention, you will see a direct link between those bars and crime and black spots. You'll be able to see that. The same way, you'll be able to see the spread of the distribution of street lamps, the city council street lamps, and the Dr. Light lamps. You'll be able to know that the rise or reduction of crime can be attributed to those street lamps. You can be able to see those that are broken and those that are working. You've been able to map all that.